From Las Vegas, Fox 5 News at 10 starts now.
A bill to allow terminal patients to end their lives with medication returns to the Nevada legislature. We'll break down the measure and hear from both sides. Democratic New Jersey Senator Cory Booker made a stop in Las Vegas today. What the presidential candidate wants to change if he's elected. An exhibit showcasing thousands of items left at memorials following 1 October closed its doors today. What it's meant to survivors to see it one last time. We start off with breaking news. North Las Vegas police are investigating a deadly crash. This is a live look at the scene right now on Lake Mead near Belmont. The crash happened just after 7 tonight. Police say the driver of the car pulled out in front of the motorcyclist. Speed and impairment is not suspected. The motorcyclist, a 52-year-old man, was taken to UMC where he later died. Roads are closed right now during the investigation. A bill that would legalize assisted suicide in Nevada is up for debate tomorrow. This is the second time in 2 years the state legislature is discussing it. The measure failed in 2017. Fox 5's Tiana Bohner joins us with more from both sides of the issue.
Well, Faith, I talked to a Valley lawmaker who supports the bill and a doctor who's against it. They both agree this is a very personal issue, which is why so many people are so passionate about it.
I think death with dignity is exactly what it is. Folks want to be remembered at their best.
It's an option that's already available in neighboring states, but now assisted suicide is up for debate in Nevada.
You know, to really see the agony from some of the family members that had to watch their loved ones, suffer in the final few months, those stories were very compelling to me. I just think it's the right thing to do.
Las Vegas Assemblyman Steve Yeager is one of more than a dozen lawmakers who signed on to SB 165.
This really is for these situations where there's just nothing else that can be done.
Yeager says the bill has several strict steps for someone to qualify. 2 physicians must confirm a patient has only 6 months to live. Then the patient needs to make several verbal and written requests for the life-ending drug. Yeager says the process is meant to prevent a patient from making a hasty decision.
This is not something you could walk in day one, say you want to do this, and you're going to get it the next day.
If you take those pills, any chance you have of an extended quality of life is gone. There's no going back on that.
That's Dr. Brian Collister. He's on the other side of the issue and says the bill sends the wrong message.
You don't need a bill that throws pills at you to kill you as an answer to your symptoms and your fears.
Collister adds doctors, including himself, cannot predict the future.
We're very, very good at giving diagnoses. We're very, very poor in predicting how long you're going to live.
Among a long list of worries, he believes insurance companies may take advantage of assisted suicide to cut costs.
When a cheaper option like lethal pills is available over an expensive life-saving treatment, that creates a perverse financial incentive for insurance companies.
Instead, he believes patients and doctors need to focus on ways to extend life rather than end it.
We can control your pain at the end.
The hearing starts tomorrow afternoon at 3. You can testify via video conference at the Grant Sawyer building downtown. Tiana Bohner, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Tiana, thank you. You can also leave comments and read how others feel about the bill on the state legislature's website. There are hundreds of comments posted on SB 165. Right now, most of them are against the bill. One says it is not up to us to decide when we die. There is plenty of medication and expertise to help the dying leave this life comfortably. I am very concerned about what this would do for health care coverage. There are also dozens of comments in favor of assisted suicide. One person writes, this bill is good as long as the patient is the one making the decision and is of sound mind when asking the doctor for drugs. No one, including spouses, doctors, or family members, should be allowed to make that call. It was the last day for an exhibit that showcased thousands of items left at memorials following 1 October. Today, those who were at the Route 91 Harvest Festival stopped by to see the display one last time.
It's a little overwhelming, but it's really nice to see all of this and remember how the community came together.
Yvonne Preciado was there that night with her husband and 3-year-old son when shots rang out. She says coming today brought back the happy memories from that night. The Clark County Museum had 15,000 artifacts left by locals and visitors from around the world, including stuffed animals, rosaries, and letters. Another visitor who lost his wife on 1 October traveled from Cedar City to check out the exhibit with his kids.
Just to help them remember. Just anything they can kind of bring them closer to their mom.
The artifacts were cataloged and photographed. You can view those items on the Clark County website. Well, we warmed up a bit this weekend, and we are only going up from here. Les is here with this first look at weather.
All right, Faith, thank you, and good evening. Yeah, we're going to start to see daytime temperatures continue to trend in an upward direction for at least the first half of the week. Then we'll start to see another bit of a cool down, but it'll be reasonable, not like what we experienced, say, for the last couple of weeks. And last Sunday, if you remember, we had some snow already falling in the Las Vegas Valley. Right now, it is 45 degrees, partly cloudy skies, west wind at 6 miles per hour. Humidity is at 56%. We've got 45 in Centennial Hills right now, Aliante 38, 44 at North Las Vegas, 41 in Summerlin, and in Seven Hills, it is 40 degrees. Pahrump this evening, 45, at Prim, 43, and Laughlin, 50 degrees. We hit 57 today. That is 8 degrees shy of where we should be for this time of the year, and well short of the record set back in the late 80s when we hit 82 degrees. So this is what we have in store for you. Warming through Thursday. Tomorrow will still be in the low 60s. Then we'll slowly work our way up to around Thursday. Then a cooler air mass moves back in on Friday. And guess what? Next weekend we have rain chances coming our way once again here in the Las Vegas Valley. You can see here right now things are very quiet. And in terms of our overnight temperature tonight, we are looking at a warmer 40 degrees. That's about as warm as we have seen in the last little while for overnight temperatures in the Las Vegas Valley. We'll tell you more about your weather coming up in a couple of minutes from now. Faith, back to you.
Thanks, Les. More 2020 Democratic presidential candidates are visiting the Valley as they kick off their campaigns. Today, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker made his first visit to Nevada since he announced he's running for president.
It is good to be in Las Vegas.
New Jersey Senator Cory Booker stopping in North Las Vegas, speaking to hundreds of people, including his mom, who lives here in the Valley.
My mom is sitting there thinking to herself, she has all these sayings that keep my feet on the ground. She's like, yeah, behind every successful child is an astonished parent.
His mom even making sure to correct him after a slip up on stage.
Candidate for president, Mom. My mom already started heckling me, you ain't president yet.
During his speech, Booker talked about his legal work to help civil rights and low-income families and outlined why he's running for president.
I believe that we could be a nation where not one senior citizen lives below the poverty line because their Social Security checks don't go far enough. I believe we can be a nation that honors its immigration past by treating immigrants today with dignity and with love and with embracement and doesn't separate families.
Those who came out to see Booker liked both his charisma and his message.
He's impressive, and he seems like he has fire in his belly. And that's what we really need in this country.
He's got a lot of very, very good points in moving our country forward in a great direction.
The Republican National Committee responded to Booker's visit to Las Vegas, saying Nevadans will get a glimpse at the disastrous policies he supports, including government-run health care, sky-high taxes, and the socialist wish list known as the Green New Deal. Booker's extreme tendencies keep pushing 2020 Democrats further and further to the left and away from hardworking Nevadan families. R. Kelly won't get out of jail until tomorrow or Tuesday until he can pay the $100,000 bail. His attorney says the R&B singer is capable of paying and should be released in a day or two. But he said others have to act for him and the coordination is complicated. The 52-year-old faces 10 sexual abuse counts involving 4 victims, 3 of whom were minors. Kelly denies the allegations. A Valley man wanted for murder was arrested in Utah. Utah police say multiple agencies worked closely with the FBI and Metro Police to bring this man, Lee Frank Wilson, into custody. Wilson was arrested without incident. He's being held in the Beaver County Correctional Facility while awaiting extradition. More than 1,000 people scaled the Strat today, all for a good cause. They climbed 108 flights of stairs to benefit the American Lung Association. This year, the event raised more than $300,000. And the overall winner of Scale the Strat is 27-year-old Alexis Trujillo. He climbed more than 1,400 steps of the iconic tower in 7 minutes and 13 seconds. At the end of a 4-day summit, the Vatican outlined steps to fight the sex abuse crisis. How some of the victims are reacting. Plus, we're learning more details on the trafficking case involving Patriots owner Robert Kraft.
So we're headed to a senior living facility.
I have a very happy life.
This is their home now, and
I have really been blessed.
For someone to come in and show them that they still matter, it means a lot.
We've got flowers, candies. We're going to spread a little bit of love.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for everything.
I think it's a great day.
Fox 5 News, recognized with the most Emmy Awards in the Valley and the only local station awarded with overall excellence. Fox 5 News. The Rant with John Huck, weeknights on Fox 5 News at 10.
A Florida health report is shedding light on the conditions of the spa at the center of a trafficking prostitution sting. The spa broke headlines Friday when it was announced Patriots owner Robert Kraft is one of 25 men facing charges for soliciting sex there. Police say traffickers forced several women from China to live inside the spa and sell sexual services to more than 1,000 men a year. A spokesperson for Kraft denies he committed a crime. The 4-day summit convened by Pope Francis to deal with sexual abuse by clergy came to a close today. Now church leaders and victims are discussing where to go from here.
We will listen to them, believe them, walk with them.
The Pope and bishops wrapped up the summit with a final mass. Pope Francis highlighted 7 guidelines for ending violence against children and vowed to combat child sex abuse in the church with the vengeance of divine judgment. Despite the Pope's strong words, reaction from victims was mixed.
I think that we've shown that how important the voice of survivors is in this issue. And, that we have something to say.
4 days to come up with a piece of paper, to come up with a series of banal responses, useless things that would take 50 minutes to write. Is this the church we want to believe in?
Victims also say they want more action like sanctions and zero tolerance. Church leaders say the concrete work of this summit has just begun. Millions of Americans' drinking water is laced with forever chemicals, which are man-made toxins. The Environmental Protection Agency announced it plans to reduce the amount of those chemicals, but critics say the measures fall short of the action needed to tackle the problem. PFAs have also been found in cosmetics, nonstick cookware, and food packaging. Some studies link the chemicals to higher cholesterol, increased cancer risk, and fertility problems. One CDC study estimated that PFAs would be found in the blood of 98% of the U.S. population. The acting EPA administrator is pushing back against critics. In Washington, the founders of a bipartisan congressional task force say that the agency's efforts are a start, but further aggressive and impactful actions must be taken to protect Americans' communities. A massive weather system stretching across the Midwest and Southeast is impacting about 150 million people. It's now pushing its way northeast, bringing with it frigid temperatures and strong, dangerous winds. The storm brought heavy rain and flooding to the southeast, forcing Tennessee to declare a state of emergency after heavy rain turned streets into waterways. A tornado touched down in Mississippi. Further north, snow and wind are still a major threat. The National Guard reported it rescued at least 30 people stranded on icy roads in Minnesota.
Now, Fox 5 weather 24/7.
Yeah, we can relate to that weather that we were just looking at. Maybe not really, but we did have our own little active weather system here on Thursday that did bring 8 inches of snow for a couple of hours anyway in the Summerlin area. We are now heading in the opposite direction. We're going to start to see daytime temperatures warming up, and we're going to see temperatures hovering very close to about the 70-degree mark as we head on into the first half of the week. Then another cool down coming, but this one is not going to be anywhere near as dramatic as what we experienced for a couple of weeks here. 45 degrees right now. We got a west wind at 6 miles per hour, humidity at 56%. We're looking at the satellite radar loop right now. Pretty quiet, not much going on in our area. There is some active weather in central regions up around the Sierras and on as well toward the San Francisco area into Oregon and heading up into Washington State. The clouds that you're seeing here are going to start to invade our airspace here over the next couple of days as we have this high pressure still sitting here. This high pressure will help to boost our daytime temperatures for the next couple of days. Also, we don't have a deep trough that we had here for the last couple of weeks like we had. That means that all that cold air that was basically coming in and, you know, just stacking up on top of each other is not going to be coming down as far south as it had been for the better part of the month of February. But what we are going to be seeing is another system that's going to start to work its way toward us that could bring us some active weather by the time we get on into next weekend. So tonight we got clear conditions with some cloudy periods. We are going to start off Monday with some sunshine. Temperatures will be up and around the 60-degree mark, and we will see those numbers continuing to warm. So Tuesday, Wednesday, we're in good shape as well. As we head on into Thursday, we'll start to see that frontal boundary starting to slide down toward us. That'll create some breezy conditions for us on Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. And then behind this front, as it moves past us, now you got the cooler air coming back in. So we're going to drop our temperatures from a few degrees above seasonal to a few degrees below seasonal for Friday, and then potentially for next weekend we could see some active weather coming into the picture for us. But we're going to be in pretty good shape for tonight on into tomorrow as well. All right, if you're heading out to the lake tomorrow to take a look at the Hoover Dam or to just cruise around the park, 63 degrees. The water temperature at the surface is 54 degrees. If you want to go up to see some more in the way of winter weather, you got great skiing conditions up at Lee Canyon. You got lots in the way of snow as well up in Mount Charleston, 42 degrees. Here we're going to see wind gusts up to 29 miles per hour. Some highs for you to consider for tomorrow. We have 61 in Boulder City, 57 at Searchlight, Pahrump 63, North Las Vegas 59, and Nellis 59 degrees. We here in Las Vegas 60 degrees tomorrow, 67 on Tuesday, 69 on Wednesday, 68 on Thursday. Then we drop back down below seasonal for Friday, Saturday, and then back to more seasonal numbers by the time we get to next Sunday. Again, for the weekend, next weekend, slight chance of some active weather. The big weather story for us really, I think this week will be the breezy conditions on Thursday, but even that will be reasonable.
Okay, yeah, especially after last week.
That was epic, really. I mean, when you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to enjoy it. You don't get it here very often at all.
We don't get it here, well, there's 10 years, right?
Right.
But boy, 8 inches in Summerlin, I still can't believe that.
Yeah, it's wild. Thanks, Les.
All right.
Combining the virtual world with the real world, how augmented reality could soon change our day-to-day lives.
Steer clear of backups with Ken's Cone Zone on Fox 5.
Everybody's asking, when is this project finally going to be completed?
Stay ahead of construction.
We have a traffic alert for drivers.
And avoid the cones. Ken's Cone Zone, sponsored by Hennis & Haight Injury Law. Watch our next Surprise Squad live with the Fox 5 News app. Free download today.
First, there was virtual reality. Now comes augmented reality, which brings elements of the virtual world into the real world. David Lee Miller looks at how you might use this technology in the near future. From prisoner to program officer, Fox 5's Abby Tetros sits down with the first convicted felon to work for the Nevada Department of Corrections. It's a special report coming up next.
Only one Las Vegas station can say they're the official home of the Raiders. Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas. Fox 5 News is sponsored by Richard Harris Law Firm. Call 702-444-4444. This is Fox 5 News at 10, local, Las Vegas.
I never thought with the background that I have that I would even be eligible to work for the state of Nevada, let alone Department of Corrections.
That man went from prisoner to program officer for the Nevada Department of Corrections. The state says he's one of the first convicted felons to work for the department. But his story is part of a bigger push to lower recidivism rates. Fox 5's Abby Tetros walks us through his journey.
I had a good life growing up. I had a lovely family.
This is the Russell family in the 1980s. Michael's on the far left wearing the striped polo. He had a close relationship with his mom and his two sisters, but his stepdad was his best friend.
He's the only father that I've ever known. He was loving, caring. He used to play softball. I'd go to his softball games. I thought it was pretty remarkable that a man that wasn't my true father actually let me call him dad and treated me like his own.
Michael's picture-perfect family shattered into pieces when he was 15. Dad died of a massive heart attack.
He was healthy, he didn't smoke, he didn't drink. He played softball, he bowled, he was very active. It's just unknown. He was 39 years old. It was hard for me, you know, I didn't know who to be upset with. I was more upset with the man upstairs than anything.
He turned to drugs to numb his heartache. By 15, he developed a methamphetamine addiction. By 19, he did his first prison stint in California for financial crimes.
I broke the law to feed my addiction, and it spiraled from downhill, you know, from there.
He got out of California, but his time out of prison didn't last long. Michael committed more financial crimes to feed his meth addiction. He ended up at High Desert State Prison in August 2012.
I only knew I was comfortable in my own skin is when I had a substance in my body, and so I reverted back to that. And of course, me being an addict like I was, I reverted back to my old criminal behaviors again. I started breaking the law and doing the crimes, and after all that, I, of course, ended up back in prison.
Michael got out in August 2013. He tried to stay clean, but he couldn't.
I did a violation as well on parole. My violation on parole was due to my drug use. I wasn't able to quit using drugs on my own.
He tested positive for meth while on parole and ended up back at High Desert. But something changed this time.
I remember sitting in my cell at High Desert State Prison and in the fish tank, and a blue book came under the door, and I remember I just couldn't believe it. I started reading the book, and it was a Narcotics Anonymous book. And when I started to read that book, I identified with every story in the book a little piece of myself. I decided I want to change my life.
He got clean, committed to the 12-step program, and got out of prison. It's been more than 4 years. In that time, Russell graduated from Hope for Prisoners, earned his degree, and worked at Freedom House Sober Living, where he gave advice to other addicts looking for a way out. His supervisor, Elizabeth Coleman-Dixon, saw potential.
He had the expertise and the understanding of what it meant to be inside and then transition back out into the community.
Coleman-Dixon brought him on as a volunteer at the Department of Corrections in 2017. He helped inmates on the verge of parole reintegrate back into society.
I was probably, I don't know, 10, 11 months into the volunteering, and I told Elizabeth that, I said, I want to work for you. She said, apply.
Michael applied to be a program officer. He filed the extensive application, went through a background check, and took a drug test. A few months later, he found out he got the job.
I just cried, you know, I never thought in a million years that I would be that person being offered a job at the state. What does that mean to you, being fair and consistent? I teach a program called Getting It Right in MRT. MRT is a moral recognition therapy. Basically, that is a behavior modification. It allows the inmates to identify their own issues inside and identify their own problems to correct them.
Michael works in a classroom at Casa Grande Transitional Housing and helps inmates on the verge of release navigate their emotions so they don't end up back in prison.
What we're doing for what is right with providing the right tools is going to show in the long run that we can reduce crime in the community.
NDOC Department Director James Zarenda wants to see more stories like Michael's, and he told me rolling out more behavioral programs like the one Michael used to beat his addiction will help. He also wants to hire more qualified former prisoners.
It's going to give them the stability to be able to actually live a normal life out in the community. That type of success is going to reduce crime in our communities.
Michael is thankful for the second chance and wants to help others who may struggle the way he once did.
I understand them. I understand where they've been. I understand their feelings that they're going through. I give them hope.
Russell is on probation right now and told us this coming September marks 5 years sober. His supervisor says the state is careful with who they hire, but also saying the AG's office is reviewing changes to state laws to enhance the screening process of former inmates to ensure public safety. We're just a few days away from another North Korea summit. President Trump is slated to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in Vietnam. Allison Barber has the latest from the White House.
Now, Fox 5 weather 24/7.
All right, welcome to your Sunday evening. We are looking at a week where daytime temperatures are going to get back to normal. And in fact, we're going to go slightly above normal for at least a few days before another cool down comes our way. But this one is not going to be anywhere near as dramatic as what we had earlier in the month. 45 degrees right now. A west wind is 6 miles per hour, and our humidity is at 56%. We've got 41 in Summerlin right now. North Las Vegas, 44. Nellis Air Force Base, 43. Boulder City, 41 degrees. In Pahrump this hour, 46 degrees. 40 at Prim, and 48 degrees in Laughlin. So the satellite radar loop shows us that we are not seeing a whole lot in the way of clouds right now. We will see some cloudy periods for over the course of the next several days as we got moisture in the upper levels of the atmosphere. No rain in the forecast for us, certainly no snow because our daytime temperatures are going to start to climb back up and get more reasonable after a couple of weeks where we were basically flirting with temperatures in the 40s and 50s as our daytime highs. We've got high pressure as our main weather maker for us right now, even though we do have those clouds coming in. But again, that is because of some moisture in the upper levels of the atmosphere. What will be happening for us for tonight? Not much. It's going to be fairly quiet. We are going to see some winds in the mountains for tomorrow here on the valley floor. Fairly quiet, except for a few high-level clouds drifting in. But we are going to be maintaining a watch on a system that could bring us some scattered showers by the time we get to next weekend. So Monday will still be a few degrees below seasonal. We'll get closer to seasonal values on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday we're going to see the numbers continuing to tick up, so we'll be a few degrees above seasonal. All that changes again by the time we get on into Friday, when we are going to start to see the temperatures going down, all thanks to this front that's coming our way, that by the time Thursday afternoon rolls around, it's going to deliver some pretty brisk winds to the valley. We're talking about wind gusts of around 20-25 miles per hour, but it's the cool down following that front, which will take us back down to the low 60s. At least we'll be at the low 60s and not in the 50s as we head on into Friday, Saturday. We'll start to see the numbers rebounding slowly, and things should be okay. Now, on that note, we also have the potential of seeing some drizzle in the Las Vegas Valley for Saturday and or Sunday. At this point in time, we're talking about a 10% chance. Here's a look quickly at our future track, and you can see the clouds are going to be moving out of here. We're in pretty good shape for us as we get into the week, but on and off, we again going to be seeing some clouds coming into the Las Vegas area, all because of the moisture that's still trapped in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Let's talk about our forecast numbers now. 60 degrees will be the high for tomorrow in Las Vegas. We jump up to 67 degrees on Tuesday, 69 degrees on Wednesday, Thursday, 68 degrees on Friday, 62, then 63 on Saturday, 65 on Sunday. Our evening numbers, they're ticking back up as well. We're talking about the low 40s and even the 50s over the course of the next 7 days.
All right, I told you earlier, I forgot what 60s felt like.
I know. For a moment, I thought we were back east, right?
Right.
Yeah, especially with the weather that we had the last 2 weeks. That was unreal.
Yeah, that'll be a nice warm up this week. Thanks, Les.
All right.
And download our free Fox 5 app for the latest weather and traffic updates. We'll be right back.
Fox 5 News, on air, online, and now on Alexa.
Here are your top headlines.
Local news at your command. Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Those are officers in Arizona next to a snowman. They got some rare snow and had some fun with it, saying, what is all this white powdery stuff this week? Arizona received record amounts of snow, getting more than 2 feet in some areas.
What a waste of caution tape.
They just had no idea what to do.
Yeah, I'm a real party pooper. You know who's not a party pooper? The party.
Aww.
Look behind you.
Thank you, guys. So it's my last
go
show
to explain, yes.
before maternity leave. So my due date is quickly approaching.
And oh boy, because do you get it? Because it's a boy.
Aw. Well, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. You brought me a cake too.
A giant cake. So I think there's still plenty more.
Yes, I love it. Oh, well, it's going to be fun. I'm going to miss you guys so much because you're my weekend family. We're small and very close, so I'm going to miss you a lot. But we're getting bigger. Yes, we're growing. Not by one, but also 2.
That's right.
In 1 more month, we'll have 2 little babies running around.
And you have to watch every weekend. Stay up late.
I will. Thanks. All right, Sports Plus, take it away.
That's right. It's coming up right now.